Alright, example 2, we're gonna put everything together, what we've been doing. I'm gonna do the completing the square part a little fast this time since we've been working on it. I'm gonna subtract 16 to both sides. I have 4x squared minus 3y squared plus 8x equal to negative 16. And remember, we have to do this when we want to turn the equation into the standard form of the equation of the hyperbola. So now I have to group my terms. So I have 4x squared plus 8x minus 3y squared is equal to negative 16. So this example is a little bit different, and you'll see how and where. Let's go ahead and take out that greatest common factor. I have x squared plus 2x minus 3y squared is equal to negative 16. Now that I'm completing the square formula, 2 over 2, 1 to the power 2 is equal to 1. I'm not going to do it as the y because there is no b value. No, because there is no b value. Alright, so I'm going to continue. I just did it once. Remember, you don't always have to do it. I added to my first one. Then I have the negative 16 plus the 1 value I'm going to add. That value was 1. Remember, I have to do 4 times 1, so then I get 4. Alright, so we're going to continue factoring. If you haven't figured out the shortcut to factor without using the Xbox, you just do x plus whatever value is there, plus 1 to the power of 2 minus 3y squared is equal to negative 12. And now I need to divide by negative 12 to both sides, because remember that I need a positive 1 on the right hand side. That's going to simplify to negative x plus 1 over 3 plus y squared over 4 is equal to 1, because that cancels. This simplified, and I pretty much just brought the negative to the front. It can be with the negative 3, but you'll see why I put it in the front right now. Negative and negative gives me positive, and then the 3 and the 12 simplify to become 4. Now, if you remember, the standard form equation of a hyperbola actually needs a subtraction sign in the middle. So that's why this minus here is important, because I can rearrange the equation where now it does match the standard form of equation. I have my minus and my 2 variables. Alright, so with all that information, now I can begin to find everything I need. So I need the center. That is x plus 1 equal to 0. And then the y doesn't have a value, so it's y plus 0 is equal to 0. X is equal to 1. Y is equal to 0. My center is negative 1 comma 0. The next step is always to figure out your A, B, and C, because you know you're gonna need them. So then find A, B, and C. A is equal to 2, because the square root of 4 is 2. B is equal to the square root of 3. And I can show the work for that. A squared is equal to 4, and B is equal to 3. B squared is equal to 3. So now I can figure out C. C, remember, is C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared. So C squared is equal to 4 plus 3. C squared is equal to 7. c is equal to the square root of 7. And now I can find the vertices. This is a vertical hyperbola because of the y value in the front. So then I am going to be adding the values to my y coordinate. So h comma k plus a and h comma k minus a. That means my h is -1, 0 plus 2, -1, 0 minus 2, -1 comma 2, -1 comma -2. I have my two vertices. I go to my foci point. My foci points are also, I am adding the value of c to my y coordinate. So then I have -1 comma 0 plus square root of 7, -1 comma 0 minus square root of 7. You can change it to a decimal or just leave it as is because it doesn't bug anyone and we're not going to be graphing it. So I have my center, I have my vertices, and I have my foci point. I need the final thing, which is the asymptotes. So then it's a vertical hyperbola, so I know it's y minus k is equal to a over b. If it was a horizontal hyperbola, I would actually do b over a. And I have x minus h. And to save ourselves a little bit of time, since I just need both of them, I don't actually need them to graph, I'm going to put a plus or minus there to do both of them at the same time. So then I have y minus 0 is equal to plus or minus positive slope, negative slope, 2 over square root of 3, x minus -1, y minus 0, plus or minus 2 over square root of 3, x plus 1, y is equal to plus or minus 2 over square root of 3, x plus 1. And these are both asymptotes. I have the positive one and the negative one. The reason I was able to do this was because this value I knew was going to be 0. So I wasn't going to be subtracting anything, so nothing was going to change. And you have all your information. You have the center, you have the vertices, the foci points, and the asymptotes. I know that it's a lot more work, but this is why with practice you should find shortcuts so you're not going through this whole process of doing and writing down every work. Go ahead and try number 2. After you type in the answer to try number 2 on your Google document, complete your exit slip. Make sure that your exit slip has all of your work written out in the picture. And that's it for today. It was a continuation of last week's lesson. So easy, simple. Good job, guys. Keep up the great work.